Hey guys, it's James, and I finally made it to Bellotera, Spain. It's about 40-minute metro ride outside Barcelona, actually. So I've only been to Barcelona once in the last week, so hopefully get down there a little bit more this weekend. But today I wanted to talk to you guys about a few things I have on my mind this week. The first is that, with these video blogs, I'm usually speaking from my mind, and it's not what you might think of speaking from my mind. Like, I'm not just like telling you what I think, but I'm referencing other sources of how they speak. Like, for example, R.C. Tyler. Like, I'm taking some of his material and putting it into the blog in the way that he does it. And I realized that maybe I should connect more with the deeper part of me, the maybe more authentic part of my ability to communicate, and that's something that I actually really enjoy doing because I really value authenticity, being authentic with people, and partly because I'm always trying to manipulate people. So it's like whenever I can finally be authentic, it's like finally, like I don't want anything from them. I can just enjoy my time with them, and my mind isn't running the show. But it's kind of like my whole being is with them. It's not trying to get anything out of them or anything like that. So I really try to achieve that more often. But I guess the conflict that I had this week that I realized is that I want to be authentic so that I can have success in my life and be successful with people. And using that as a tactic, it doesn't work out. So I was wondering, so maybe it's like I need to be, because when I was authentic before, I was of a lot of pain, because I realized that wasn't worth it. So to be manipulative, so I asked someone, and they said that perhaps it's just that you have gotten there anyway over time, but because you reached it through a painful state that you associate it with that. So who knows? If you have any ideas, let me know. But anyway, let me get into what I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to talk about the idea that you guys probably noticed that I've been talking a lot about addictions and healthy and unhealthy ways to achieve a certain mental state or a feeling or something like that. And I can't get off this topic. It keeps on coming back to me in new refreshing ways. And I'm glad that I studied a little bit about neurochemistry, because it really, when I am aware of my emotions and I can associate with like a mental label that I've learned, like for example adrenaline, it's really I can apply that to science and can kind of like take the right actions to level that off or raise it if I need to. And so there's always these chemicals going through our brains that are influencing all of our decisions. And what I want to talk to you guys about today is that everything that we do is an attempt to bring about that state of a heightened sense of arousal, and to bring that feeling into our being. And I think that this can go in any direction. For example, if we were kids and we lived in an abusive family, our parents were abusive in some way, then we had that fight or flight response, that release of adrenaline in our brains, and we, even though we consciously may not have enjoyed it, that sense of arousal really is something that stuck with us. And so if there's a person like that, they'll seek out those relationships naturally, because someone who is abusive to them will bring that state back to them. They made that association. And I guess in the same way that I seek authenticity, and I've associated that with being in a painful state, that that might actually not be so resourceful for me, because I'm not always in pain, and I realize that that's not really, a painful state is not something that we want to keep on for a long time. It really sucks. So yeah, and so another part is that not only the bit about abusive family, but also, like, for example, people who take risk, or people who eat a lot, or approaching women is another one. It spikes up those emotions. And by the way, I've been thinking about this because I've been approaching a lot of women, and I notice I'm always hungry. And why I'm always hungry is because I always have a lot of adrenaline in me. I'm not actually hungry, but I'm nervous. And the nerves come from all these approaches I've been doing. So yeah. So there's just a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of mental chemistry going on, and I think that I told you guys about this before. It's like we have the up wave where we have that desire, or that arousal. It can come across sexually or through drugs, alcohol. It can come through anything. Everything that we do, that we seek out, is a tip to awaken in this way. And so we have the up wave where we have that arousal, and then it comes down naturally, and we experience some kind of pain because we're not up. So we go back up again. We find something else to take us up, and it brings us back down again. So let me see if I'm still on. Yes, I'm still on, so I'm going to take a break. So yeah, the arousal, it goes up and it falls, and it goes up and it falls, and we have the pleasure and the pain. And what I was trying to tell you guys about when I was at Versailles in that video blog, that was way too windy. Now that I'm in the confines of my room, I can explain it a little bit better. Is that it goes up and down, and this is kind of like a big ocean, and these are the waves on top. And if we're always chasing those waves, if we're always chasing that state, if we're always engaging in these programs, everything that we do is a program to awaken, then we don't connect, we don't learn to connect with our deeper energy that's always there, right like that. It's underneath those waves. And that deeper energy is the energy that just comes about from being alive, from having energy and vitality as a human being. What is great about meditation is that you connect with that. You connect with the breath. And you connect with that sense of being that's inside of you. Connecting with the now of it. So that's a much deeper energy source, a much more clean and steady and consistent source of energy than the pleasure and the pain. And it doesn't exist in either plane of those. It exists on I guess what some people would say a higher plane, but it exists in a way that is not extremely pleasurable or extremely painful or even in between. It's just there. It's what I would say tranquil. It's very tranquil. So take that into account, and so I think that the meditation makes it so if every program that we do is this up and the down, and that we're always seeking these arousal states, and then from the arousal we fall, that the meditation puts space in there, and it actually sidesteps that. It says that you don't actually have to do that because you're alive, and you're going to breathe in, breathe out, and you're going to die, and all that anyway. And so it's like it puts enough space in between those actions that you connect with that deeper self, and you're not always chasing those states. And I wonder if it's even necessary to even be. I would call that the up and the down, the world of desire. It's the world that is shopping addicted, consumer addicted. seeking identities. By the way, thoughts also bring us into state. If you have a negative or a positive thought, it influences your physiology, it influences your emotions, and it brings forth a person in a different way. And that's not about how you relate to people, but it's how you feel. So what I'm saying is that you can enjoy all those states. It doesn't really matter, but like the negative thoughts will bring us to a place where if we become so addicted to our thinking in general that we won't do anything. And not having the physiology to move and do things will make us feel socially isolated because we won't be doing anything. And I guess maybe I haven't looked into it too much, but we'll be missing on things like endorphins and social contacts and other, generally good things. So, am I still on? Yes, I'm still on. It's working finally, my camera. So I kind of been rambling a bit, and I hope this stuff makes sense to you. And I'll have to read more about neurochemistry and stuff to be able to explain it better and more about other things. So take care, and thanks for joining me today. Peace.